I use the word hurt as a safe word to protect myself from the abuse and the sex trafficking, labor trafficking, and everything. But it was talked about in the family that the trafficking started when I was 3. My stepdad and my mom, they would have these adult entertainment parties. They would pick people to come over. They would drink, be in a pool and stuff in the middle of nowhere. They would be sleeping with each other. My stepdad and my mom, I would tell me I would have to sleep with certain people. So I ran away, and my stepdad went looking for me as well. And when he found me when I was hiding under a bed, he pulled me out, held me by my throat, and was beating me and told me never to do that again. Like, I wanted to live on my own, but I was always told that was never gonna happen. I was crazy, I was stupid. My children were taken away because I tried to get away from my mom. I was doing everything I needed to do, but it wasn't getting better because they were trying to get my mom the kids, because that was the retaliation of me leaving and trying to leave.
The reason behind survivors actually having a mistrust. They don't just have a mistrust for individuals, but they have a mistrust for systems. Oftentimes when they've reached out for assistance, they've not been seen as a victim. And in order to break down this bondage, if we first just meet them where they're at, maintain consistency, love, and support for them, they then will be able to build a trust.
I ran into these 2 guys, and they were telling me about Pastor Gangster Eddie, aka Spider. If he could change, anybody could. With that experience with Pastor Eddie, I got a Bible. I got baptized at his church, and that was a lot of what started my spiritual aspect in my recovery. When I first became aware of Samaritan Village, I first got denied.
When Dawn was almost not accepted into the program at Samaritan Village, it was really due to the challenges that presented themselves regarding her disability. And so the conversation that took place behind the scenes, how do we continue to serve in a way that we can support those that have comprehensive challenges, disabilities, as well as continue to help them along their healing journey.
But then they called me back, we got the voucher, and I had to come every day. And I had to do the same thing everybody else was doing in stage 1, but just live off the property.
And so as a result of Dawn, as well as other participants that we had, the Safe Harbor program was actually created as a result.
I'm gonna honestly say that they're all needed and to be used at the same time, because I've been in therapy and stuff before, and just one type of therapy or this therapy didn't do it, but having it all together at the same time really worked a difference.
And so it's really important, and I think the most impactful piece to our program for Dawn really was around just incorporating all of those biblical principles alongside those therapies.
So I was never supposed to work or have my own job or anything. I've had my own place, had my own job, and it's something that nobody can take away.
If I were to describe what it looked like for Dawn to break free from survival mode and step into her healing, Dawn began to serve her community right here in Central Florida. Dawn began to realize that her testimony had power, that her experience had truth. Dawn, when she did not have her beautiful smile that she has now, she would barely ever speak. She would barely ever even lift her head and smile. Now Dawn has confidence. Dawn is able to speak with confidence, as you have seen. She again has an ability that God is able to use her in powerful ways. And so it's so very important for donors to understand their impact is generational. We're talking about generations that are impacted. We're talking about our community that is impacted by that one life and that one experience here at Samaritan Village.
I am a survivor because of Samaritan Village.